you to Philco Radio Time, produced and transcribed in New York with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Skitch Henderson, and Bing's guests, Fred Allen and Connie Boswell.
That's good. Come on, boy.
Glenn Riggs welcoming you to Philco Radio Time, produced and transcribed in New York with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Skitch Henderson, and Bing's guests, Fred Allen and Connie Boswell.
That's good. Come on, boy. Shredded roll for your breakfast. Start the day all shining bright. Gives you lots of cowboy energy with a flavor that's just right. It's delicious and nutritious, right size and ready to eat. Take a tip from Tom, go and tell your mom shredded Ralston can't be beat.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters bring you action, mystery, and mile-a-minute thrills in radio's biggest Western detective program. Tonight you're about to hear another episode in a baffling mystery. Secret Mission.
No, it's a true story. Just to prove that people are weird, I went out and I bought a rhinoceros. And I put him in my apartment, and I dug a hole and everything for him. And, I refused to hang my hat on his horn, that kind of thing. And just to prove to you, some people are weird enough that they'll pretend that a rhinoceros in the living room doesn't excite them. You get people like that. I walk by and say, oh my, you have a rhinoceros, huh? We used to have a rhinoceros. Take the rhinoceros for a walk, and some drunk always gets happy. Oh, boy, that's a weird-looking dog you got there. Does he bite? Nobody will ram the hell out of you. That's what they do. Half man, half animal. Wolfman, right? Half man, half animal. Wolfman, right? And here's a guy that I sympathize with because he can never remember his rhythm pattern. He's walking around as a normal human being, then the moon comes up on it. Now, a guy like that has got to be embarrassing to his family. He's sitting around eating dinner and the moon comes up. Oh, Pop, were you going out in the yard someplace like that? How about if he's getting a haircut, man, as a normal human being, right? Barber's giving him a haircut, and the moon comes up. Oh, hey, this is going to cost you an extra $8 after this. So, well, make it light around the legs, will you, please? Speaking of death.
Great trains rush toward the Hudson River, sweep down its eastern bank for 140 miles. Flash briefly by the long red row of tenement houses south of 125th Street. Dive below into the good 1/2-mile tunnel which follows beneath the glittering spikes of Park Avenue. And then, Central Station.
Strange story. Gratitude.
Against the storm. Against the storm. For Philip Cameron in Hawthorne, and for Pascal Tyler in Arizona, a letter from Lucretia Hale has profound importance today. Today we bring you another chapter of Against the Storm, written by Sandra Michael and presented by the makers of Ivory Soap. That Blue Ribbon, finest series served anywhere, proudly presents With our
star Dan Daly. Our weekly guest, Dinosaur, the sportsman, 53rd Charles Orchestra, Alan Reed, Frank Nelson, yours truly, Harry Von Zell, and starring your man Friday, Eddie Cantor.
The magician. Frank Chandler, known in the Far East as Chandu the Magician, is playing a dangerous game. He has deceived the malignant Roxor into thinking him an Egyptian sorcerer, and Roxor has engaged him to perform 2 feats of black magic. Chandu the Magician.
This is the witching hour. It is the hour when dogs howl and evil is let loose on a sleeping world. Want to hear about it? Then turn out your lights.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to Melody Ranch with King Autry.
I'm back in the saddle again. Out where a friend is a friend.
Mike!
Local merchants who sells and displays healthful, refreshing, delicious government chewing gum invites you to meet all the folks here at Melody Ranch.
America's ace of the airways.
CX-4 calling control tower. CX-4 calling control tower. Standing by.
Okay, this is Hop Harrigan coming in. Yes, it's America's ace of the airways. Coming in for another transcribed episode in the adventures of Hop Harrigan.
What is a reigning beauty?
A girl who's all wet.
Correct. Pay that man $8. If 4 frankfurters cost 10 cents, what is 500 frankfurters?
A lot of baloney.
Correct. Pay that man $9 because
It pays to be ignorant.
Pepper Young's Family. The story of your friends, the Youngs, is brought to you by Camay, the mild beauty soap for a smoother, softer complexion.
The makers of Fleischmann's Fresh Yeast present I Love a Mystery. I Love a Mystery, presenting the latest adventures of Jack, Doc, and Jerry, specialists in crime and adventure, now following the Chinese pirate map of P.Y. Ling.
Famous quick release for acid indigestion. Famous quick release for acid indigestion presents the Marlon Hurt and Beulah Show. Cal Stewart, the music of Albert Sack and his orchestra, and starring Marlon Hurt and
Got the world in its headlock, got the stopper in my hand. I was silly with you.
yes, sir, it's Beulah. Tonight from
Tonight, from the home of Ken Murray's Blackouts, the El Capitan Theater, Hollywood, Lever Brothers Company presents the Pepsodent Show, starring Bob Hope and his special guest, Al Jolson.
C-O-L-G-A-T-E, Colgate presents Bill Stern
With the Colgate Shave Creams.
C-O-L-G-A-T-E, Colgate presents Bill Stern
With the Colgate Shave Creams Sports Newsreel.
Bill Stern, the Colgate Shave Cream Man, is on the air. Bill Stern, the Colgate Shave Cream Man, with stories rare. Take his advice and you'll look keen. You'll get a shave that's smooth and clean. You'll be a Colgate brushless fan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bill Stern bringing the 381st edition of the Colgate Shave Cream Sports Newsreel, featuring strange and fantastic stories. Some legends, some hearsay, but also interesting. We'd like to pass them along to you. Yes, it's Sunday, time for the Bill Harris Holiday Show, presented by the makers of Rexall Drug Products and your Rexall family druggist. Loans Liniment present Gang. Loans Liniment present Gangbusters. At war, boxing against the underworld. From coast to coast, gangbusters, police, the G-men, our government agents, marching against the underworld.
Johnny presents The Philipparis Playhouse, produced, edited, and directed by William Spear. Tonight's star, Marlena Dietrich.
With Lorenzo Jones and his wife, Belle. We all know couples like lovable and practical Lorenzo Jones and his devoted wife, Belle. Lorenzo's inventions have made him a character to the town, but not to Belle, who loves him. Their struggle for security is anybody's story. But somehow with Lorenzo, it has more smiles than tears. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal presents the adventures of Superman. Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, and today Editor Perry White makes a decision that will bring many exciting moments to the Man of Steel. Up firing horse for the speed of light, a cloud of dust and a hearty hi-yo, Silver, the Lone Ranger. When the western United States were first opened to settlers, the promise of easy wealth brought both honest men and criminals to the new territory. Both found that wealth could only be purchased by hard work, and the criminals returned to their old habits. The last squad of the plains fought them tirelessly, however. Astride his great horse Silver, he rode through the length and breadth of 7 states in the cause of justice. And in time, he brought law and order to the lawless frontier. Return with us now to those thrilling days when the West was young and adventure lay at the end of every trail. The Lone Ranger rides again. Come on, Silver! Come on, in that powder city! Now fighting in the trail ahead! Hi-yo, Silver! Away! new two-piece, bright-colored shake-up mug Captain Midnight has for you? That big, handsome, two-in-one shake-hopper you use to make ice-cold, chocolatey shake-ups to drink every day?
Yes, fellas and gals, wherever you might be tonight, the National Bar Dance invites you to join in with your friends and neighbors back home who dropped in at the old hayloft for the evening session. Starring William Conrad. That's the story of the violence that moved west to South America. And the story of a man who moved with it. I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. The eerie, weird, blood-chilling tales told by old Nancy, the witch of Salem, and Satan, Pariah's black cat. They're waiting for you. Cigarette presents Double or Nothing. Yes, just three little words, Double or Nothing, the thrilling quiz show with a $100 question presented by Cinnamon, the modern chewing gum laxative. And here is the man on the asking end of the $100 question, your paymaster of ceremony, John Reed King. The Green Hornet, the Green Hornet. He hunts the biggest of all game, public enemies that even the G-men cannot reach. The Green Hornet. With his faithful valet Cato, Brett Reed, daring young publisher, matches wits with the underworld, risking his life that criminals and racketeers within the law may feel its weight by the sting of the Green Hornet. Ride with Britt Reed as he races toward another thrilling adventure. The Green Hornet strikes again. Hurry, Cato, we're out to smash a parking lot racket. Presents Benny Goodman's Swing School, the Tuesday evening rally of everybody everywhere who gets a lift from the new pulsating music of youth, swing. Tonight, the King of Swing presents the world's greatest swing band, the Goodman Instrumental Trio and Quartet, and the Camel Swing Chorus under the direction of Meyer Alexander. And back from his travels over America, Pat O'Malley, our English fellow student, whose reception several weeks ago demanded another appearance. All brought to you by the makers of Camel cigarettes. The makers of ionized yeast present A Helping Hand. A Helping Hand is a new program dedicated to public service and conducted by John J. Anthony, nationally famous counselor on human problems, author of the well-known book, Marriage and Family Problems and How to Solve Them, and founder of the famous Marital Relations Institute. And now, here is Mr. Anthony.
now, here is Mr. Here's Dick Powell as Richard Dermott, private detective.
All the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O, yum, yum, yum. Jell-O pudding, yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tapioca pudding, yes, sirree.
Now, True Detective Mysteries. In cooperation with the editor of True Detective magazine and the Mutual Broadcasting System, True Detective Mysteries, brought to you by X-Lax, America's largest...
And now, Stella Dallas, the true-to-life sequel as written by us to the world-famous drama of mother love and sacrifice. My beautiful
The story of Mert and Marge. Mert and Marge is a story of Broadway. A story that goes beyond the lights of the gay white way into the lives of two chorus girls. Two girls from the cast of that most glittering of all Broadway extravaganzas, He Feels Pleasures. The house lights go down, the footlights come on. In a moment, the curtain will go up on the first chapter in the story of Mert and Marge.
The makers of Instant Checkers of Instant Chase and Sanborn Coffee present the Charlie McCarthy Show. This is Ken Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen, greeting you from Hollywood, California. On behalf of Edgar Bergen, Charlie McCarthy, Mortimer Stern, Don Amici, and Marcia Hunt, and the Bickersons by Bill Rapp, Ray Albin's orchestra, and Pat Patrick as Ursula Twing.
Yes, it's the Jimmy Durante Show with Alfred Preacher, Candy Candido, Roy Boggy and his orchestra, our ex-house sportscaster Bobby Howard, yours truly, Howard Petrie, and our special guest tonight, Bing Crosby.
And Young Players present The Adventures of the Falcon. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million... National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents...
The Johnson Wax Program is given to you in
account.